Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone's had a wonderful Christmas. And, to all my fellow drivers that have to get back out here, the day after Christmas and try to make some money so that we can survive out here in this jungle. Hey, man, we got to do what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So today I want to talk to you people, new drivers, future drivers, and those who enjoy my content that's interested in being educated on the inner workings of Lyft and Uber and these rideshare companies and the things that's unfair and so forth and so on. Well, I wanted to talk today about the government, okay? Lyft and Uber and how in sync they are with the government. Now, a lot of people don't know that there's thousands upon tens of thousands of drivers and gig workers in different states that's protesting for better pay and for better working conditions, to be treated more better, to have more say so as drivers. I know Lyft drivers and Uber drivers are really protesting for better pay and to be treated fairly. The DoorDash and Instacart people and stuff like that, I don't know a lot about it, but I know that in some states they have banded together all of the gig workers. Well, there's thousands upon tens of thousands of drivers and gig workers striking in many states on a constant basis. Just the other day in New York, they stopped on the highway because the judge had awarded Uber drivers a better pay raise. Uber came in and put a halt on it because they're appealing the process, the decision. Okay. Now, that probably hit the news. Okay, but it's all types of this type of stuff that's going on that doesn't hit the news. And you ask yourself, well, if this is going on like this, if that many drivers and gig workers are protesting and striking, why isn't that no one has stepped in from the government? Like the United States Labor Board, like the United States government, any of the officials, any of the politicians. Now, I have yet to see a politician that has came out in support of the Lyft and Uber drivers and gig workers. I haven't seen it. It could be, but their voice isn't loud enough because it would be known. It would be seen. There would be major news coverage of it if a major politician, right, connected to Washington, D.C., or some type of Senate in D.C. of the United States government was to speak on this, then it'll get some type of traction, right? Well, the labor boards is for being fair, to make things, so that these companies would not take advantage of innocent employees. And with all these drivers and gig workers striking, the labor board hasn't came in and said anything or stepped in to assist these people. The government doesn't do anything. And this is why. The government benefits from Lyft and Uber a great deal because the government at some point in the creation of these companies, when these companies got up and running, they got some type of contract with the government. Uber, Lyft and Uber, they got a contract, a rideshare contract with the government to service their employees, to offer their employees rides. Now, this contract that they have is at a 2 to 4% discounted rate, okay? Because they have such a large volume of the government that they have to cover, right? In this contract, a lot of government employees utilize Lyft and Uber due to that contract. Okay, now that is the benefit that Lyft and Uber, that the government, that is the benefit that the government gets from Lyft and Uber. Now, there could be some more out there, okay? But I don't know because I haven't did a lot of research on it. But I'm pretty sure that there's more benefits. Like, for instance, I know that these companies are paying major taxes to the IRS because they're making millions upon millions of dollars on a daily basis. Because these companies are activated in a lot of states around this world, in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. And these companies are making a lot of money hand over fist off of the service of innocent people that's trying to make a decent extra income or a decent full-time income. Now, with this partnership that Lyft and Uber has with the government is why the government and whatever other kind of benefits that the government gets from these companies, Lyft and Uber and DoorDash and Instacart, or what, all of that stuff is connected in some way. The government is not going to step on their toes. So, as I was telling you all in some of my other videos, when it comes down to the news and of drivers striking and protesting, saying the same thing, being unfairly paid and mistreated, and you never see any news hitting local news or none of that, is because the companies went public and sold a lot of their stock in their company. Any negative publicity is going to kill the stock and it's going to make it lose a lot of money. They will rather neglect and mistreat millions of drivers. The news would rather ignore and ignore millions of drivers being underpaid and mistreated rather than to put it out there what's going on. See what I'm saying? The stock market means more than anything to these people. These stock markets and these investment companies have major relationships with networks and news outlets, so they can control what goes on the news because it could be harmful to the stock market. They would rather neglect thousands and tens of thousands of drivers than to put out what's really happening with these companies. How these computer algorithms, these companies are manipulating millions of drivers. The government is benefiting from Lyft and Uber. That's why the labor boards won't come in and regulate this algorithm. These algorithms that's controlling millions of drivers. Okay? If these algorithms were properly regulated, the drivers would be treated more fair, right? And yes, the fares will go up. They don't want that to happen because that means that the companies are going to go out of business. Okay? The government is going to lose a great deal of service from Lyft and Uber in their relationship, right? It's a whole lot of things that plays factor into why the government or no politicians won't come and speak up for all of these neglected and mistreated gig workers and rideshare drivers. You know what I'm saying? The government is actually in on this, because you can't tell me that thousands upon tens of thousands of drivers being neglected and underpaid saying the same thing. I guarantee you 80% of them are saying all of the same things. How in the world does the government ignore that? How does the United States Labor Board, that's controlled by the government, ignore that? It's because they are a part of it. They benefit from these companies. You understand what I'm saying? These companies tied in the stock market. Some of your favorites have major stocks in these companies. I mean, athletes, entertainers, actors, politicians, all of that. This is a worldwide scam to the tune of, you might as well say some form of a Ponzi scam. You know what I'm saying? What is it doing is exploiting society. These types of companies are exploiting society at an all-time high for major gains. There's not a driver on this earth that drives for Uber and Lyft that has made millions of dollars only from driving. There's not. Now, we're not talking about you selling a product and a brand came along. There's not a driver out here that can tell you that he's a millionaire from driving for Uber and Lyft. It's not. And you're not going to see one. Now, you get a lot of people that come on here that start driving for Uber and Lyft and add extra income, like they might get a YouTube channel together. They might do something on TikTok, Instagram, and build up their followers and subscribers and get monetized and add an extra stream of income to what they're doing, right? Most of them quit driving after a while because they go off into something else, and I don't blame them, right? You know, Lyft and Uber are some very bad companies. They have very bad business model, and they're taking advantage of a lot of drivers. Of course, you know, you're gonna have a lot of drivers that's gonna, say that it's all good for them, right? Hey, everybody's results is gonna be different because everybody's in different states. The demand for riders in everybody's area is gonna be different. The bonuses in everybody's area is based off of the demand in your area. And the gas prices in everyone's area is totally different. So everybody's results is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted to get out there is that the government is in cahoots with Lyft and Uber in more ways than one. And this is why the labor boards, nor any of the major politicians will speak up for the drivers, to assist the drivers, because they benefit more from what the drivers are doing, right? And they don't care about the drivers complaining. Now, we got thousands upon tens of thousands of drivers, all saying most of the same thing. and they're overlooking it. You know what I'm saying? The government is in on it. Now, I'm going to continue to bring you all information, and I'm going to continue to stand my ground, and I support 100% all of the drivers and gig workers that are protesting and striking. As drivers, we should all support one another. As rideshare channels on YouTube, we should all support one another. Yes, we can have different views. We will have different views and opinions because we are all in different areas, different markets, different states around the geographical map. All of our results are going to be different, right? But what we should not ever do is talk against one another, because we're all being raped tremendously by these companies. Okay, a couple of you all get monetized on YouTube, and you know, then you get a little cocky, you know what I mean? You know who you are. And you know, you want to talk bad about the drivers and why you're striking, what's the purpose. Then you have those ones that'll say, well, you know what, striking and protesting, that doesn't do anything, and you know, I'm just gonna shut up and drive because at the end of the year I can file it on my taxes. Do you know how that sounds? Okay, do what pleases you, but you're gonna sit around all year long and get raped tremendously to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all you care about is what you can write off at the end of the year to get a few thousand extra dollars. That still does not add up. But if that's the way that you feel will ease things for you, then by all means do what makes things better for you. Me, I don't got a pot to piss in, nor do I have a window to throw it out of. I am in the Lyft Express program. It's by far the worst program ever created. I've been in it for 11 months, and in weeks to come, it'll be 1 year. I drive anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day, and I'm barely clearing $160 to maybe to $170 a day. This is all I have right now. So, and I'm gonna continue to drive on this Lyft platform so I can educate new and future drivers so they can be better prepared than I was when I came out here. Because everybody's driving Lyft and Uber for a financial purpose. I don't want to tell no one not to drive for Lyft. I want to educate you so you can be prepared and know what to look for. Look, I'm gonna continue to drop information that can help you all and educate new and future drivers to prepare themselves as they enter the Lyft platform as drivers. We need to stick together, drivers. Rideshare YouTube channels, we need to stick together. The beefing is not good, you know what I'm saying? So the trolls, hey, I welcome you, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, you know, everyone be safe out there today. I'm going to keep, you know, doing what I'm doing. You know, it's hard, but I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep working on this channel. And I would like to ask you all to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay in the loop for my newest videos. You all have a wonderful day, and let's get this bread, baby.